Patuloy na lumalago ang bilang ng mga OFW na nangingibang bayan. Mula po sa Kaohsiung, sa Taiwan, naririto ang inyong Pilipinas Online Bantay OCW, hatid ng Bantay OCW Foundation mula sa Inquirer.net at Radyo Inquirer Online. Ako po si Susan K.
Bantay OCW, Bantay OCW, Bantay OCW, Bantay OCW, yeah, yeah.
Iba't ibang mga sitwasyon, iba't ibang mga kalagayan ng ating mga OFW, yan ang patuloy na tinututukan ng Department of Migrant Workers sa pamamagitan ng ating mga Migrant Workers Offices. Siyempre, dito po sa Kaohsiung, naririto si Labor Attaché, walang iba, David Dicang. Labatt Des, welcome sa ating Bantay OCW program.
Thank you, Susan, for having me.
Salamat at naririto ngayon ang inyong Bantay OCW team sa Kaohsiung. Kumusta kayo dito?
Maganda naman po dito. We are happy. We have a very good team with the MECO, the Manila Economic and Cultural Office, and also with the Filipino community here in southern Taiwan.
Labatt Des, binubuo ito ng tatlo, hindi ba, na mga labor attaché kayo dito? Tama ba?
Yes, we have three migrant workers offices. Isa sa Taipei, isa sa Central Taiwan sa Taichung, at dito naman sa Kaohsiung.
Ano yung pagkakaiba nitong tatlong ito?
Well, sa North, sa Taipei, mas marami pong tayong constituencies doon. Almost 60% or more than 60% of our Filipino workers are based in Northern Taiwan. Around 35,000 ang nandito sa Kaohsiung. Ganun din po sa Taichung, Central Taiwan. Pero we have a geographical areas. Dito sa Kaohsiung, we have the Chai County, Tainan City, of course, Kaohsiung City, Pingtung County, Taitung County, and of course the other islands like Lianchang, Penghu, and Kinmen.
Wow,
Yun po
kabisado
yung
mo lahat.
coverage natin sa southern Taiwan.
Oo.
We have different areas, and it's a very good working environment and a very beautiful place to stay. And
Pero
live, yeah.
Labatt Des, hindi itong una mo sa Taiwan, hindi ba?
Hindi, I was Overseas Workers Welfare Administration Welfare Officer 23 years ago sa Taipei.
Okay.
So it's quite a blessing from our Lord for me coming back to Taiwan.
Anong profile ng ating mga OFW dito? Ano kadalasan yung mga trabaho nila at naiiba doon sa tatlong mga lugar po na binanggit ninyo?
Like in the North and in Central, we have more manufacturing workers, factory workers. Dito sa South, we have in the semiconductor industry. We also have caretakers, but we have more fishers, coastal fishers and distant fishers compared to the North.
23 years ago, kung ikukumpara ninyo, ano yung malaking pagkakaiba noon at ngayon pagdating po sa employment ng ating mga kababayan?
Well, the Taiwan government has a very good grievance mechanism. They have a hotline, a working hotline, yung 1955. The Ministry of Labor have various Bureau of Labor Affairs in the different counties and cities. Tawagin nyo lang yung hotline. They will assign a case officer. The case officer makes an assessment of the case, investigates and calls the stakeholders. We also have a very good relationship with the Bureau of Labor Affairs. Kami mismo sa Migrant Workers Office ng MECO. So, we collaborate, communicate closely, not only with the Ministry of Labor or Bureau of Labor Affairs, but also with the Taiwan Fisheries Agency and the National Police Administration. They have several divisions and departments that help us. Kasi ngayon, Susan, di ba, since a few months back, when the Department of Migrant Workers was institutionalized, sa amin na yung assistance to nationals cases.
Yeah.
Pertaining to criminal in nature related cases.
Kailan nalipat yan? Kasi dati sa DFA yan, di ba?
Yes, but dito po sa Taiwan, we started handling yung ATN cases July 1st.
Okay.
But we have a good transition. We work together with MECO. Maganda po ang transition. Ang MECO proper handles ATN cases of immigrants, of students, of tourists, and we handle the ATN cases. Yung MWOs natin, Migrant Workers Offices, handles the ATN cases of Filipino migrant workers or overseas Filipino workers, whether documented or undocumented. But of course, we have instructions from our MECO chairman and resident representative Silvestre Bebot Bello III that kung sino una makakatanggap ng case, whether it's your area, we right away respond to it and then we coordinate. So maganda ang samahan. We have a very fast communication and coordination with our teams. Although yung ATN po ngayon, when you say assistance to nationals, as defined in the new law, when you say assistance to nationals, it has taken a different definition now because it also covers now yung labor and employment cases. Because when you say when you assist your nationals, assistance to nationals, it does not just cover criminal in nature related cases, not just like civil cases, admin cases, immigration cases, and all the other areas of help that our workers will be needing. But of course, yung ating karamihang pa ring requests for assistance on employment, labor and employment related cases or requests. What we actually address here in Taiwan with our workers are most of the time personal problems that we need to help them with, like loans, personal loans, or if they are victims of fraud, or sometimes they are manipulated sa scams or fraud, and even money laundering.
Pag sinabi ninyong money laundering, anong mga sample na mga kaso na yan? Nangyayari pa pala yan dito, no?
Ano kasi, they're duped into other people whom they don't know using their accounts.
Or kunyari, magiging girlfriend sila. Tama ba yun?
Meron din ganon.
Ito yung mga dayuhan din ang nambibiktima. Sila o mga kababayan din natin.
Meron din. The problem is they get the details of your account.
Oh, okay.
So, we advise our kababayans, huwag yung ipagamit. Don't give your personal bank details. Even your passport details, your resident certificate or ARC details. If you don't know the person or if you're not really sure, because there's the lure of earning more money in the fastest way, at hindi mo alam, it's too good to be true. So, hindi dapat yun. And on the other side, yung sa loan naman, we do our best to advise our fellow citizens, kababayans, not to actually live within their means. If you earn this much, then you have a budget. Because if you go beyond your means, then you go into personal loans. And sometimes also the lure of gambling, of easy money. So we, as much as possible, advise them not to go into this. Actually, we at MECO, especially our chairman, we would like to get our kababayans into a different kind of addiction.
Oh,
Yung
anong klase yan?
Financial literacy,
Aha.
self-enrichment, empowerment, investments. We want our kababayan to put their hard-earned money into wise investments.
Yan yung mga wala 23 years ago. Nung nandito ka, di ba?
Merong tayong reintegration program 23 years back, but it's not as institutionalized as now. And right now, we have several support sources, not just government. So there are non-government organizations and well-meaning institutions that come into helping, right? Like, for example, right now, the chairman himself, our MECO chairman, a few weeks back, we featured a farm using technology here in Kaohsiung. So we will be having a students and OFWs themselves in their spare time. And I'm also very much interested getting into learning farm technology and putting it into use. So there will be stages, the introduction and experimentation stage, and then we go into the intensive learning, and this needs to be applied in the different parts of the country. But it's not only in agriculture. Let me just put it this way. We have a husband and wife here in Taiwan. The wife earns quite a substantial sum. She's in a high working position in the company. Her husband does not have a job, but the husband is here with her, takes care of the children. Out of the hard-earned money of the wife, they were able to nakabili sila ng mga fish pond sa Pilipinas. So the husband manages the fish ponds through video calls.
Oh, wow.
So he manages his team in the Philippines through video call while taking care of the children, and the wife is working there. So it's good that they're together. We're so happy to actually see if our fellow workers, overseas Filipino workers who are here, are together as a family. So that's important. But even if not, then there should be a way for you to actually put your hard-earned money. Kasi dito, Susan, most of our workers here, as in the manufacturing sector, in the household sector, are in their early 20s and early 30s. But may limit dito of stay in Taiwan. There's a limit of stay to work in Taiwan. For manufacturing workers, it's 12 years. For caretakers, it's 14 years. They can extend their stay through the mid-level skills worker, but it's rare. The employer has to agree to a higher salary and to agree to extend you.
Buti nga may ganyan ng may capping, di ba? Kasi dati, parang one time to twice lang sila pwedeng bumalik.
Less. So which means if you're on your early 20s or early 30s, and when you go back to the Philippines, you have a smaller window of re-employment wherever you go. Maybe in the Philippines, if you want to continue, of course, working or going outside again. So we don't want it to be a cycle. We want your stay in Taiwan should be beneficial, not just for the times that you are here. So it has to extend to the future. So we are into really strengthening intensively yung ating financial literacy, workers development. Not only on financial literacy and investments, no, also and savings, but also in upskilling. Like our OWA team with the MWO MECO teams, we go to dormitories of the companies, we go to churches every weekends. We have resource persons who teach several skills.
So, ibig sabihin, Labatt, hindi lang sa pangangalaga, proteksyon ng ating mga OFW ang ginagawa po pala ninyo sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo, specifically dito sa Kaohsiung, inihahanda nyo rin sila hanggang sa pagbabalik sa bansa.
Yes, Susan, we really need to do this on a higher level. We have to level up ito. Ginagawa naman natin ito before, but we really have to level up.
Kasi kung ano na yung pangangailangan ng panahon.
And to have to because it's still basically three areas.
Okay.
It's workers protection. It's still there.
Okay.
Workers protection, but like I said, compared to other countries or other labor receiving countries, Taiwan has a very strong protection for migrant workers. I know this. We see it. We experience it. We have open communication with the concerned Taiwan authorities here. Second, of course, is employment facilitation. You've read the news. Taiwan intends to get more migrant workers. This time in the hotel sector, in the agricultural farm sector. We already have this in the industry, manufacturing, in the other services sector. Taiwan is is top on the list on workers protection. Number two, on employment facilitation, that's also our goal. We have more opportunities for employment. Of course, we want more employment locally in the Philippines. That's the ideal, and we also want to facilitate employment overseas as much as possible for good opportunities for workers. That's number 2. And the third area which we are now discussing is on workers' development. So it means a lot when you say development. It's personal development, it's values, it's upskilling, it's having a backup, it's investing.
Kung yan ang ginagawa po ninyo sa ating mga OFW, definitely kayo din ang mga opisyal namin. Level up din, hindi ba?
Yes, Susan. We all need to level up. And we're so happy kasi itong Filipino community organizations namin dito sa South Taiwan have really extended their support to our office. And we don't just have a group chat. We don't just call each other 24/7 if we need each other. They actually launched they launched 4 platforms on YouTube, Instagram, FB, TikTok to actually help us not just promote but to show the community and the world anong ginagawa namin together. So this was their platforms were launched on August 15 only. But now it has gained so much traction and we need that. We realize that to reach more people, to reach the community, our community themselves help us. So we are personal witness to the strong support of the communities, and we also want this to extend later on, not only to our workers but our communities back home, because our communities overseas have that power which has not yet really been harnessed. What they learn, the technologies and everything that they can provide for the community where they are, help Taiwan and help the Philippines, help their communities in the Philippines.
Ibang-iba na rin talaga,
Yeah,
no? Yung
yes.
kalagayan, profile ng ating mga OFWs ngayon. Dati, nagpo-focus tayo noon sa maraming mga problema, kaso na kinakaharap nila. Pero ngayon, halos bawas na yung mga kaso na yan, bawas na yung mga problema na yan, at focus din sila sa kanilang pagbabalik sa bansa. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, kailangan mag-look forward, Susan, kasi we should always be ready. We should be ready to go back to our home country. While we wish to stay here longer as much as we can, it's a nice place to stay. It's more than our second home. Dito tayo kumikita, dito tayo. But we just have to look forward also for our families. Ang maganda lang dito sa place na ito, it's very near the Philippines.
Yes.
Madaling umuwi. Just the thought that andyan lang yung pamilya natin sa malapit is also enough to inspire us. Much more if your family can join you here. So,
Yes.
yun po ang maganda.
Pero kung makaka-join yung family, pwede ba silang magstay ng pangmatagalan na katulad ng marami na doon na sa mga bansang yun, tumanda? Dito sa Taiwan, hindi pwede?
Sa ngayon, there are some who can actually get their family members to join them depending on yung level of occupation nila.
Okay.
But marami na may naman ang maganda lang dito sa Taiwan for Filipino nationals, meron tayong 14 free day visa. So your family can visit you for 14 days, free visa. So,
at marami gumagawa na doon.
Marami.
Sila na ang dumadalaw sa kanilang mga kaanak na OFW.
Marami
May
naman.
paalala ka sa ating mga kababayan dito sa Kaohsiung. At syempre, sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo kung saan naglingkod ka rin bilang labor attaché ng matagal ng panahon, Labatt Des.
Nandyan po ang ating Department of Migrant Workers. Kasama po ang ating officer in charge ng department, si Undersecretary Hans Leo J. Kakdak. He's always there, hands-on ng aming OIC ng DMW. And tayong mga OFW dito sa abroad, he always wants to know how you are doing, ating sitwasyon. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Sa mga kasama ko po sa migrant workers offices around the world, I also want to greet them all dito sa Asia and Pacific, of course sa Europe, and Americas, at especially sa Middle East na may kaguluhan po ngayon. Our support is with you. Continue to stay safe as we keep our kababayan safe there in the part of the Middle East.
At maraming salamat sa patuloy na pangangalaga ng ating magigiting na mga labor attaché saan man sa mundo, ngayon po sa pangunguna ng ating Department of Migrant Workers. Ito ang inyong special edition mula po sa Pilipinas Online Bantay OCW, hatid ng Bantay OCW Foundation mula po sa Inquirer.net at Radyo Inquirer Online. Ako po si Susan K.